So this video is going to be a play-by-play of your review project that's going to be coming up. So semester review project, your odds were all put into a group. With group projects, another person really can't hurt your grade necessarily. Just focus on what you need to get done, get it done. It's that simple. So here's how this works. Here's the point system. I'm going to talk about each individual groups. But first, I'm going to talk about the point system so you know what you're getting for points. It's worth 100 points total for a homework grade. So that's a lot. Just getting up there and presenting 5 points out of 100. Having visuals, a minimum of 3, which is going to be easy because you can only use pictures in your presentations anyway. 20 points for that. So right now we're at 25 points. 5 points for presenting, 20 points for just having visuals. You've done this 100 times in my class before. Easy money. The next one's a little tricky. Your group has to do at least one demonstration. That is like an activity, that is a hands-on thing, a game that you've invented, something that reflects, shows something about your topic. So I've done tons of these in class, right? We've done tons of activities to remember certain things. Okay, so that's all you do is gotta come up with something. That's 10 points. Making sure you cover all your content, 30 points. You have to cover everything in that specific area, 30 points. Then, after all your members have presented in your group about the topics that you said you're going to talk about, I'm going to ask each student an individual question. So I'm just going to go, okay, Johnny, here's your question. Johnny can only answer the question by themselves, and it could be about anything in the entire group's content, not just what you covered in your presentation, anything. So you have to know all of this stuff when you present this, not just the section you told your group you were going to do. And that's going to be worth 15 points. And then I'm going to ask a group question, okay? And now the group question, anybody can help anybody with it, but everybody's going to come together and answer this group question. You get 15 points. If that's the one time if you guys can't come together as a group and come up with an answer, then everybody's going to lose 15 points because nobody can answer the question, which, there you go. 5-minute presentation, that's 5 points. You have to be able to present on this for at least 5 minutes. We spend an entire unit on this stuff. You're talking weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm asking you to go give me at least 5 minutes, total of 100 points. So what are the topics? You have pre-Civil Wars Group 1. That's Cotton Gin, Fort Sumter, Kansas-Nebraska Act, and a whole bunch of other different things. Or the slave ships, slavery itself, describing what slavery was. That is Group 1. That's the first unit I taught you this year. That's what Group 1 is going to cover. And what you're going to do is in your groups is on the day that I assign this to you, is you're going to tell me which student in each group is doing what topics to make sure each student I know is being fairly divided to do the thing they're supposed to do. Civil War is Group 2. Bromine, logistical advantages, Sherman's March, Gettysburg, Robert E. Lee, all of these different people. So that's Group 2. Group 3 is Reconstruction. So the Booth assassination. Remember that whole play that we did? The Black Code, sharecropping, Andrew Johnson, the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, the KKK, carpetbagger, scallywag, all that stuff. Group 4, Gilded Age. That's your Rockefellers, your Teslas, your Carnegies, your Fords, your Henry Fricks, and all those kind of useless, I should say, weak presidents like Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison. That's going to be the Gilded Age Group 4. Group 5 is kind of a weird mixed bag. I just kind of put a bunch of stuff together that were never really big units, but together they could be one unit for the group. That could be that's Custer's Last Stand. That's boarding schools. That's Yellow Fever because of the Spanish-American War. Buffalo Soldiers, Rough Riders. The Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment is in there. The Nakarima is in there. The Spanish-American War as a whole is in there. Like how many people died? What did we get out of it? All that stuff. The next one is Group 6, Immigration Unit. This is going to be all the different immigrant groups like Irish, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, all of those groups. Xenophobia, Nativism, Emma Lazarus, Prescott Hall, Angel Island, Ellis Island. And the last group is World War I. It's all the stuff we talked about this unit. So all the people, Hitler, Mussolini, Churchill, Stalin, Patton, the Zimmerman telegram, the dominoes that led to the war, the Christmas truce, technology of war, all the stuff we just talked about. Now, you might be like, Mr. Snow, some of the stuff I don't know if we can talk about for 5 minutes because we know all the stuff. That's where the demonstration comes in. That's where that activity that you're making comes in. And now the activities can be tons of different things. I know I'm going to get a question the day before this is due. Mr. Snow, I don't know what the demonstration is. That's why I did this video, so you can understand. Here's what demonstrations could be. It could be a miniature game, review game that you make for the kids for this unit. It could be something else where you have students do specific things. You could have them line up in the for the Civil War, for the Battle of Gettysburg. You could have them line up as a fishhook, and you could describe the battle with them as everyone in the class lined up as a fishhook, and use them as the pieces that you're moving around as if you're describing the battle. You could make people, or you could act, or make other people act out the Booth assassination of Lincoln that we did in class. You could do different hand gestures of Henry Ford and Henry Frick and Andrew Carnegie. You could you do tons of there's multiple ways that you can do these activities slash demonstrations to get not only the points for that, but also to add more time to it. For the immigration unit, you could have them go through some of the tests that immigrants had to do when they first came off the boats during the immigration unit. You could have for World War One, you could make them do certain things to remember each person. Like you could have for Adolf Hitler them drawing a picture. At the same time, making Patton, you can make the kids crawl around, do like games, set up different activities. Do this, try to think of, okay, Mr. Snow teaches us something, but then we're always physically doing something. That's what you're doing here because that's going to help you learn it because you're coming up with these ideas, and it's going to help the other students learn it because you're not just telling them the stuff, you're making them work with the stuff. So all of this is 100 points. It is a group project. It's not really a group project though. So the one thing I'm going to hear from students from this is Johnny didn't do his thing. Okay. That doesn't affect you. You just need to get your stuff done. Okay. You need to make sure that there's a demonstration done. So if you don't trust anyone in your group to do it, do it. It's that simple. If you don't know the answer to something, okay, that's going to affect you. But if you know the answer to everything, you're golden. So like, as long as you own it, you're going to be fine. With that said, you got this. Peace out.